What type of Zoomoni organizer is right for your bag? Hello and welcome to the Sunshine Fashion Love channel. I am Jen and I've got the 3 different types of organizers that you can get from Zoomoni. Zoomoni is a South Korean company. They have so many different types of organizers for many different popular luxury bag styles and also SLGs. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming because there are so many different options, colors, materials, thicknesses. So I want to show you an up-close look at some of these organizers to help make your decision a little bit easier if you're trying to figure out which type of bag organizer is right for you. Quick disclaimer, this video is not sponsored. I am a Zoomoni affiliate. I purchased these 2 inserts. This one was provided by Zoomoni, but they did not ask me to make this video. And you can also get 20% off of your order. I'm gonna put a link in the description box of this video. You can also use my code SUNSHINEFASHIONLOVE. Again, 20% discount. It does take a little bit because each insert is made to order, so just keep that in mind. You can also get lots of different add-on options, so you can really get a custom insert. Also, if you don't see your particular bag style, you can contact them and you can provide measurements and they can make a literal custom organizer just for your bag. So I've got 3 different types. So this is the 1.2 millimeter felt organizer. This one I just got for my toiletry pouch 26. I really wanted to get it just to see what the difference was. This one is a 2 millimeter. This is pretty standard for Zoomoni felt organizer. This is for the Alexa, the mini Alexa by Mulberry. And this one, I just love the color. This is the pink Silky organizer. And this is for the, it's kind of an OG bag, the Louis Vuitton Delightful PM. So I'm going to show you an up close look at each one. There are some pretty significant differences. First up, this is the 1.2 millimeter. It still has some structure. It's not, flimsy. It feels very nice quality. And this one has some slip pockets on the inside, slip pockets on the outside. It does not have a grommet or space for to add a chain or like a D-ring, but you can get that option. And I do think this is really nice because personally, I don't plan to use the toiletry pouch 26 as, I tried like the putting a strap on it. I think I would more just use it as a pouch and maybe a clutch it sometimes. So I do have another organizer, but I wanted to try this one out. Here's an up close look at it and you can see, again, really nice quality felt. And let's see, here's the cards that come with each one. So it's polyester felt. Again, nice quality. It fits perfectly. I find their sizing is perfect for the bags I've tried it on. So you can see up close, this is the thickness of the felt. Provides a little bit of structure, but one benefit to the 1.2 millimeter felt thickness is that it doesn't take up as much room in the item compared to the 2 millimeter felt. That one provides more structure, but also, takes up a little bit more room. So here's a close-up, and you can see this is the 1.2 millimeter felt. I wanted to see this in person just to be able to compare them. The construction of these, I think, is fantastic. I sew as a hobby as well, and I think, they even have like reinforcement stitching up at the top. The stitching quality is, I think, excellent. They use matching thread. I just think these look really nice especially for the price. So this is the 1.2 millimeter felt. Next up, this is the 2 millimeter felt. This is kind of their standard organizer. And you can see the difference. This felt is significantly thicker. This has a lot of structure. So if you don't want your bag to look very structured, this actually may not be the option. But if you have a bag that really lacks structure, like the Mulberry Mini Alexa, I think this would be a really good option. It takes up a little bit of room in the bag. There's at least 2 layers of felt as sort of a bottom reinforcement. This one has some slip pockets on the inside. This fits the Mulberry Mini Alexa perfectly, and the color is a pretty good match. The inside of the Mini Alexa is suede. I did cover that in a different video if you want to check that out, but it just fits like a glove. It doesn't take up a ridiculous amount of room, but you can see this one is definitely has more structure than the 1.2 millimeter felt, and it is significantly thicker. Up at the top, this even has a like sort of a reinforcement piece of felt compared to the 1.2 millimeter felt that does not. So you can see there's quite a bit of a difference. So I just wanted you to be able to see it if you're trying to decide between the 1.2 millimeter and the 2 millimeter. There's a vast difference there. So this one, again, it's not flimsy and it is still somewhat structured, but this one certainly has way more structure and it's also much thicker. All right, let's also look at the Silky organizer. I actually think the Silky organizer is sort of a good in between. I think the satin quality is really nice, and I believe they're about, if they haven't already, they're coming out with new colors for the Silky organizers. They sent me the 2 millimeter felt organizer and the Silky organizer for my delightful PM. If you want to check out that video, I show the differences between the organizers. This one, I think, has an adequate amount of structure, but not too much that it looks, too stiff, because that's a very slouchy bag. So I'm really glad I chose that one as an example to show the differences. Obviously much different material. This one is, I believe, poly satin. Really, it has a cup holder. It's got some pockets, and you can see there's a lot. I really appreciate how much reinforcement stitching Zoomoni does on their organizers. I think they're very well crafted. And again, I say this as a sewist myself. I don't think I could make one of these and make it look as nice. It would take me some time. They did tell me these are they're made in Korea. They do take a little bit to make just because they are made to order, but I wasn't sure if I would like the Silky organizer. I was afraid that it would snag or that the material might be cheap, but that's not the case at all. I think this is a really good sort of, if you want some structure but not too much, but you also want your bag to have a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more slouch. You like that look. This is beautiful. I love the pink color. For the felt organizers, Zoomoni has tons of colors. So you can check out all the color options. They also have little containers for holding things within your bag, like little cubes and little like card holders and felt sleeves. So they have so many different products. I believe they also sell dust bags. Now those I could probably make myself, so I'm not sure. Like, again, I do have the sewing ability, so I could probably make my own dust bags, but quite honestly, I don't think the hassle would be worth it for me to try to make something like this. I would rather just buy this, to be honest with you, because I actually did try to DIY a bag insert for a different bag, and it was a major fail. I'm just gonna say that. It was a major fail. You can see this is pretty flexible. It has like some basic structure, but it's not overly stiff at all. There's definitely some sort of stabilizer they use in between, like inside the fabric. It doesn't go overboard. So here is a close look at the Silky organizer, and I'll hold up all three so you can see the difference. Here, I'll put this one inside all of these together. They're quite different. So I hope this does help you if you are trying to figure out which Zoomoni organizer would work best for a particular bag. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any recommendations or helpful tips for shopping with Zoomoni. I'm really glad this company approached me because I had been so curious about their organizers for a long time. I think the quality is definitely there. I do think they're worth it. I absolutely do, especially since they are made in South Korea. They're made to order. You can get custom made organizers, and they already have a lot of the most popular bags. They're adding new styles all the time, and I just really like this. I like this company. So I'm also, just to be 100%, I am a little bit biased because I'm Korean, but it is what it is. This has just been a quick look at the different types of Zoomoni organizers. Again, quick recap: 1.2 millimeter felt. This one, I would say, if you don't need a lot of structure to your item and you don't want the organizer taking up too much space, this would probably be a solid option. 2 millimeter felt, you need structure for your item, and you don't mind that it takes up a little bit more room. You need something that's pretty stable. Go with the 2 millimeter felt. Silky organizer, I would say a good in between. I actually am really curious about getting this for the Neverfull. I think this would be a good option. Also, if the bag already has a bunch of structure, like if the bag is super structured, you could go with either of the felt because it won't really make too much of a difference. but the 1.2 millimeter felt might be good if it's a smaller bag. You don't want the felt taking up too much space. Silky, I actually think would be a good option for the slouchier bags, especially the bigger bags. I'm really curious to test this style out on the Neverfull. And yes, tons of different colors, different options. If you don't like this particular setup, you can get something else. You can get it without the cup holder, without certain pockets. You can get zipper tops, all kinds of customization features, and they also have other items that would work well for bag organization. Again, coupon code 20% off Sunshine Fashion Love, and I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more helpful videos about handbags and fashion and accessories, and I will see you again in the next one.